Greetings and salutations, JordanXlord with the Imperial Cultural Society. Today's presentation shall be a great departure from my usual delve into role-playing games of the tabletop variety, and delve into a computer role-playing game that I've been excited for since it was announced in 2018. Recently bought back from the music studio known as Riot Games, we turn to the limitless world of Orbis. This is Hytale. Thank you, Simon Hytale. We appreciate you, you magnificent sloth creature. Is this to cover up the ungodly hours I've already put into this game since its release a few days before my day of birth? To justify to the Empire my Hytale addiction? Yes. Now with that established, let us go ahead and move towards the premise of this broadcast. How Hytale made me better understand ruins. And like a prophet to the masses, I am here to share it with the people. Now, if this is enlightened wisdom that awakens something in you, or I come off as a rambling madman outside your local gas station, that is entirely up to you. Ah yes, where was I? Hytale! Let's take a look at two examples of ruins I found on my personal file to express my point. Our field agents have planted rumors for the parties we will be observing, as well as trackers for our hidden cameras to follow. But don't worry, it is not a violation of privacy. It is research. Entirely different things. Computer, begin transition.
I am Steve. As a child, I yearned for the mines.
Our first adventuring party made up of an unlikely foursome. What? Don't use that word? Why not? There's four of them. I see that's a sex thing. Oops. Well, this party of four completely platonic adventurers, made up of a human paladin, a goblin alchemist, a Trork warrior, and a Clop wizard. They were informed of an abandoned Thorium mine, which, while in the many worlds like Earth, thorium is a silver radioactive metal often found in barren wastelands like Russia, Greenland, and Australia. Meanwhile, in the world of Orbis, it is a green metal that is used in magical components and able to resist poison, a necessary component in an arcanist's workbench, and found most commonly in the Howling Sands. So, as this group of adventurers follow the clues provided, from trails of thorium to signs of abandoned life, they arrive. First, they delve into the entrance and see that the torches were still lit. Now, that is likely because this is a video game, but you could use it to indicate that the ruins are not as uninhabited as people thought. Next, they see OSHA violation after OSHA violation. I mean, look at the lack of railings. So that could mean this operation was not above board, or was even illegal. Perhaps it requires certain care in kind of equipment to mine such metals that require governmental oversight. Then the party realizes that the miners had never left, as the unearthly glow of the eyes of the living dead would pierce through the darkness. The mining crew and its assigned bodyguards were reanimated, perhaps by the thorium itself, or by the equivalent in your story setting, or whatever you want to use. It's your story. The fact that there are still some bones undisturbed can mean a level of randomness in the power, making it less of a focused effort and more ambient. Or let your players come up with theories and take the coolest one and pretend that it was the plan all along before frantically writing that down. Then, when they would eventually find what appears to be a makeshift prison, likely to keep any workers or guards that were not so willing to keep their lips shut or otherwise isolated from the rest of the bunch. I don't know, maybe they spoiled their favorite book or something, but you're throwing in the brig, pal. Now, let us say you're tired of the mines. You no longer yearn for them. Or you want to introduce other monsters or threats in your story. Well, those mines could open up to natural caves filled with subterranean predators, or ancient ruins of forgotten civilizations, which, depicted here, we have the mines lead right up to where the likely guardians of this forgotten civilization had awoken. The one skeletal guard here looks different from the others. It never leaves the ruins, and is clad in rustic armor. As undead will be used in both examples, I will go ahead and say another fun world-building trick to use. They were once people. The clothes they died in and were reanimated could be a way to tell the story, perhaps clues to who they were in life. And as these adventurers head down to the mines proper and ready themselves, hopefully they do not end up joining the former workers in their undying shift. Now, let us move towards our next spot. Computer! Transition to location number 2.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear...
My field agents have been working with a tribe of furries. I mean ferrets, or small humanoid foxes known for their survival skills and fierce nature, growing up in the Howling Sands with many dangers like the bug-like Scarexes, who once enslaved them. They're rather defensive and slow to trust, which, given their dark history and the harshness of the desert, completely understandable. Like, the fact they were willing to even talk to us is a miracle. Thank the gods. Well, thank the gods and our top diplomats, the providing of supplies, and our own hatred of the Scarexes. I mean, everyone is like, ooh, the magma toad is so evil, oh no. But the locusts are a plague to this realm and must be brought to extinction. Okay. I have calmed down now. Okay. Horse tranquilizers. Are you sure that's enough? Why not? Oh, the elephant tranquilizers would have made me unable to do the video. That makes sense. I don't want to slur everything. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah. We informed the Ferens about an abandoned human outpost that recently had its inhabitants reanimated. So we're going to go over some simulations of what their scout should do in order to uncover the full extent of the threat and eliminate the 2 risen necromancers that have begun reanimating this outpost between the Howling Sands and the Emerald Grove, otherwise known as Zone 1 and 2. The thing about ruins that I've learned watching the simulations here is that while yes, the front gate is open, it is the most guarded and would absolutely surround our poor friend here. Great ruins, and in general, great design for environments. For your tabletop games like Daggerheart, the Dragon game, Pathfinder, Glup Shadow, the role-playing game, and others, is that ruins rarely have just one opening. Ruins, in the end, are abandoned homes, and with that comes the wear and tear of things like weather, nature growing, etc. Like, imagine this hypothetical situation. You had a house. Yes, I'm unfortunately very, very aware that's not the case for many. Why do you think I like role-playing games? Now, if you stopped mowing your lawn and no HOA or lawn mower in sight, it's going to grow. Now, if you were also not there to maintain your house, things would inevitably fall apart. Buildings require maintenance. And in this example, nature had grown out and openings in the defenses can enable multiple points of entry, which, when utilized in the simulation, would give our scout a much higher fighting chance with choke points and high ground they can take to gain the advantage. Again, with this prior example, these undead are an example of world building. The ruined banners having the same symbol as their armor clearly detail the existence of a society, be it a civilization, organization, or other form of identity. They can be all part of the Big Tree Club. More importantly, leave your players, readers, kidnapped victims curious for more. Now, on to our final thoughts. Yes, I know, this is quite a departure from my other videos. As quoted from the wise philosopher, Shrek, ogres are like onions, and I am the greatest ogre in the land. We here at the Imperial Cultural Society cover many worlds and settings, and not just bound by a single medium of storytelling. For any good storyteller knows that they must explore and find new ideas to steal for their own, else we become stagnant and stuck. Which, yes, I stole that part from Uncle Iroh in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hytale's world generation creates a lot of weird moments, but arguably, is that not the way of things? Life is full of resourceful uses of the terrain. Hell, towns kind of sprout out of nowhere sometimes. Have you been to the Midwest? It's sometimes doesn't make any sense, but neither do people. I really do hope, though, I get to expand this in the future with covering more ruins, actual dungeons, maybe things that don't have undead in them, have a little bit of variety there, and just in general, get to talk about the things that I adore talking about. From tabletop role-playing games like Daggerheart and Pathfinder, other forms of role-playing games such as Hytale and, like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. It's just, there's so much cool stuff out there. And Hytale, which right now, the story is very much a work in progress. We have a long way to go. I do hope to cover it. I do hope to cover it and its growth, because above everything else, I love studying game design, learning what makes us immersed in these fictional worlds, and getting to interact with you all. My question for today's broadcast: what has been your experience with Hytale? Any cool ruins you have explored? Any funny stories? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please subscribe, leave a comment, and/or join the Imperial Cultural Society Discord in the link below. If nothing else, all I want to say is thank you for watching, and please remember, stay safe and stay glorious.